I'm Jackie Spade. This is FBC News. Tonight, beware of bogus travel agencies, warns Consumer Council. Government steps up to safeguard seasonal employment in New Zealand. And Fiji hosts first ever World Tibet Conference. The Consumer Council of Fiji is warning the public to be wary of bogus travel agencies. This follows a most recent case where a former Fiji citizen was charged by the Auckland High Court for luring 15 Fijians to New Zealand under false promises. Rachel Nath reports.
The Consumer Council of Fiji says there needs to be regulation put in place to monitor travel agencies in Fiji. In the last 5 years, the council received 90 cases of dishonest operations, including 9 in 2016 alone.
An advisor or migration advisor or any travel agency who deals with visas, etc., they need to be registered. And there has to I can't think of any other better place than Department of Immigration.
In the most recent case, former Fiji citizen Feroz Ali scammed Fijians by offering them job in New Zealand through a local travel agency that was run by his wife and sister-in-law in Suva.
And I'm sure this company did the same thing. They must have put out advertisement, lured all these consumers, offered them and made big promises.
The council is encouraging people with information about bogus agencies to inform them.
These travellers should come and lodge a complaint at the council. We should be able to find out a little bit more who this company was, who acted irresponsibly. And we can also put out such information to the public so that they don't use the service of this particular travel agency.
While the travel agency is yet to be confirmed, the Consumer Council of Fiji has stressed the importance of being diligent when dealing with such agencies. Rachel Na, FBC News.
A number of Fijians that were employed under the recognised seasonal employers scheme to New Zealand will soon be taking up their second term of work. Employment Minister Semikoroi Lavasau says given the negativity and decrease in recruitment to Australia, they've changed tactics to safeguard the New Zealand jobs. Maggie Boyle reports.
Seasonal workers' numbers to Australia have dived from 133 last year to only 26 this year. Government is now working to ensure the New Zealand market remains secure.
We're sending people in the next 2 to 3 months back, but they were all workers that were there before. We're not tapping into new areas.
However, with the new strategy, a number of Fijians in the ready work pool may be left out.
We need to review that list in the ready pool again, because they need to satisfy the new processes that we've carried out now. But it is we have the responsibility to try and secure more work in Australia and New Zealand.
Lavasau says while the situation is challenging, it's not completely dire.
At the moment, we're not feeling too desperate about it because it's only our second year going now. But we just need to create more awareness in Australia and New Zealand of what we've done in the last 3 to 6 months.
The minister adds that the seasonal workers program is driven by employer demands. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Suva High Court has refused an application to strike out the National Federation Party's case against the Registrar of Political Parties, Mohammed Saneem. NFP is seeking to challenge the propriety of the decision of the Registrar to suspend them from functioning as a political party. The court has given time to NFP and the Attorney General's chamber to file their affidavits before the case is recalled on the 29th of next month. The party was suspended after the Registrar highlighted that their accounts were not audited by an accountant certified by the Fiji Institute of Accountants. The demand for technical and skilled labour force continues to rise, and like other developing countries, Fiji is relying on technical institutes to churn out workers. Speaking at the World Technical Vocational Education and Training Conference in Suva today, President Major General Chiochi Kondote said some schools have been converted into specialised TVET centres to resolve the issue. Kelly Vadala reports.
Government has had to hire expatriates in many instances due to the lack of skilled workers.
We have a shortage of skilled labor. in various sectors such as construction, manufacturing, tourism, and agriculture, among others. Hence, we rely on the technical authorities and institutions to help us address this issue. I am advised that the demand for technical and skilled labour force is not only in Fiji, but in the region as well as in developed countries.
30 delegates from around the world are taking part in the 3-day conference to look at different ways to solve the issue.
So we can share not only experience, but also the curriculum development, and also in terms of skilling, upskilling the knowledge.
By having an IVITA conference here, or the TVET conference here, the World TVET conference here, you're actually bringing the people from all the nations, whereby how they adopt the right model, the right skill model to contribute to the Fiji country itself.
I'm very interested to see what people are doing here, how they're overcoming perhaps some of those challenges that we would face in terms of getting education and training, particularly to more remote and isolated cohorts of students.
Our problems are the same. Our demands are the same from the industry, and our shortages of skills are the same.
The Technical College of Fiji has 12 campuses offering hands-on technical training up to Level 2 standard in the qualification framework. Fiji is the first country in the region to host the World TVET conference. Kelly Batala, FBC News.
Life lessons can be learned from Fiji's golden victory in Rio, says Agriculture Minister Inia Seriratu. Seriratu was the chief guest at Pacific Theme Festival of the Friendly North in the Subrail Park in Lambasa last night. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
10 young women are this year vying for the Queen Crown at the 2016 Festival of the Friendly North. The Pacific-themed night yesterday saw the different contestants display various Pacific attire, much to the delight of the crowd.
I noted that most of you are students, and most of you are in the early stages of your working career. I wish to encourage all of you that with dedication and commitment, anything is achievable.
On the evening of the public holiday set aside to celebrate Fiji's win in Rio, Chief Guest and Minister for Agriculture Inia Seriratu says there are huge lessons to learn from the team's achievement. A cake was also cut to celebrate the occasion here in the Northern Division.
I have stated that the victory in Rio has brought a lot of good learning experiences for us if we wish to succeed in life.
With the theme Greening the North, the Agriculture Minister reminded the people to always be responsible of the environment to ensure that it stays green for our future generation.
So for all of us, I wish to urge you once again, as we continue to bring development into world level, let us not only focus on the economical gains, but let us also be aware and take responsibility in the social aspects and of course environmental implications as well.
The rainy weather failed to dampen the spirits of the public as they still turned up at the grounds. The festival ends this coming Saturday. Eleanor Turangivu, FBC News.
Meanwhile, one contestant has withdrawn from the festival. According to the committee, Claire Nguivalu was unwell, and a sponsor, the Lambasa Town Council, has withdrawn her from the festival. Still to come on FBC News, Northern Road upgrades progress as well. And Hoteliers believes air connectivity vital for tourism industry. Stay with us.
Salamuki may nakaulebu na tiala tilebu au saborong tunga en Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan yato
Ebi nakabayaw Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan na evangolite ay rakirak.
Kay mami na marama ni Northland kay mami daw talenta ka na Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan yato
na Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan yato.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Northern Division is progressing well in terms of upgrading its road network. Commissioner Northern Chovesavo there says more work is expected to complete in this financial year. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
Roads are the heart of our social and economic development, facilitating trade, reducing distance, and allows for improvement of movement of people and goods. In the 2016-2017 financial year, One of the main focus of the Commission Northern Division's office is the construction of new roads as well as the completion of existing ones.
What government is doing is just building the infrastructure, making it easy for the people, especially the farmers, to bring their produce to the market.
One major ongoing road upgrade project is the shortcut from Madhuwata to the Kaunrove through Nayarmbali to Kortasere, which, after a small hiccup regarding gravel supply, is back on track for completion this year.
If that project is completed this year, it will really ease the burden of transportation and for commuters too, rather than traveling from Lambasa to the other side of the Natewa Bay, going through Sabu-Sabu or Wainingandu. It normally takes 3 hours. It's only a 1 hour drive.
Other ongoing road upgrade projects include the Korenesolo Road, a crosscut from Wailevu West, Kumbulau to Madhuwata, as well as the Navakasali and Namovewoi Road.
People in that area have been ringing, calling the office, thanking the government for improving that road, so easier for them, quicker for them to come to Sabu-Sabu, as well as the other side of the peninsula, Natewa and Rakinawai. They're also doing some work. So we are really progressing very well in terms of our road networks within Vanuatu.
The construction and upgrading of these roads comes under the capital projects for the Northern Division. $4.3 million is allocated to the Commission Northern's office to undertake all its capital projects in the 2016-2017 financial year. Eleanor Turaneview, FBC News.
Visitor arrivals continue to increase by the day, and the Hotel and Tourism Association believes it's vital to tap into more destinations to maintain this growth. Rachel Nath has more.
The Fiji tourism industry is seeing a series of activities take place, and the hoteliers believe the next step is to ensure Fiji can offer the full package through air services.
Would be on the cards for Fiji, would be looking at with the emerging markets is air services, because without the connection, the connectivity, it's only a dream.
Sito says the arrival increases are mainly from the Asian continent, in particular China, which needs sustained attention.
Fiji Airways is looking at new destinations like San Francisco. I hear that that they're looking also at ports in Asia, but definitely China would be a natural destination that we would like direct air services from.
The industry is also keen to additional seats made available for tourists from the Asian region.
In today's aviation industry, the name of the game is to code-share and work together. And I'm sure, if we get our negotiating done right, we could look at a cooperative kind of arrangement.
While the Fiji Hotel and Tourism Association doesn't have a direct say in air service agreement, Dixon has stressed that the government has the welfare of both the industries. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Non-government organisation Social Empowerment Education Program Limited has welcomed government's move to educate the parliamentarians on their role in relation to extractive industries. These industries include mining, logging and gravel extraction. Pranita Prakash reports.
Communities are often left in the dark about a planned extractive site, which leaves a huge economic impact on them.
The lack of awareness of the extent to which their land will be used, their lack of awareness of their rights as people who will be affected by the mines or affected by gravel or logging is quite widespread in the communities. We hope that the parliamentarians, the MPs on both sides of the House will be able to represent the views of the people, the communities, that they'll be able to bring their voices into the process, because a lot of the times it's missing.
SEEP is working with 35 communities across Viti-Levu and Vanuatu to implement a Fijian community empowerment model. The NGO has also carried a baseline survey in Bua in relation to proposed bauxite mining.
We work in several districts. One of them is Wainunu, and we did a survey internally, and so our preliminary findings are stating that a lot of the community members are not aware of the proposed bauxite mine that would take place.
Chantal Khan says they will be training the parliamentarians to enhance their knowledge in regards to extractive industries so they can hold regular consultations with the locals. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Turning to world news, last year more than 1 million migrants arrived in Europe from Africa, Syria and South Asia, spiking one of the biggest crises in the generation. This year the numbers have fallen, but many still try to make the peerless journey, and many of those who survive to make it ashore are minors. We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Up ahead, and final preparations for BOG underway at Ratu Thakambau Park. Stay with us for this and more.
मैं जुगेन नंबिलो तालिब से रेडियो FBC 2 24 घंटे मेरे साथ साथ रहता है।
हम मंगेरी ताउका के ललेश है। हमारे दिल में और दिमाग में खाली रेडियो FBC 2 है और सभी भाइयों से आग्रह करते हैं कि रेडियो FBC 2 सुनना चाहिए।
मेरा नाम अविनेश है, मैं निंदी का रहने वाला हूँ। मैं सभी समय रेडियो FBC 2 सुनता हूँ क्योंकि उसमें
The Western Sydney Rams have signed Olympic gold medalist Vatemo Ravovo for the 2016 Buildcorp National Rugby Championship. Sevens playmaker. The Rams begin their campaign against state rivals Sydney Rays this Sunday at North Sydney Oval. Fiji Seven stars Semi Kunatani and Leone Nakarawa will arrive in the country tomorrow. The two players both have French contracts to honour, and their stay in Fiji will be brief. The Fiji Rugby Union is currently in talks with the government to have another Rio Gold celebrations in the Northern Division. Chief Executive John O'Connor says they have received a lot of interest from Vanua Levu and people are ready to host the Fiji Seven side. He says they will wait for the arrival of Semi Kunatani, Leone Nakarawa and team manager Rupate Kauvesi before plans are finalized. If things go as planned, the celebration is likely to happen on Friday in Lambasa. The Fiji Sports Commission is going to introduce a 4-year plan for the development of sports in the country. Chairman Peter Maisy says it's time to get together and plan things ahead. Meli Tavanga has more.
He says one of the main problems is leaving things to the last minute.
And the whole aim will be to make sure they have 4-year plans in place and that we already start identifying the talent and that we mould them. So a couple of sporting bodies have already started that.
Maisy says training of our youngsters now is very important, and note they'll be the athletes of future Olympics.
Yeah, we've got some young swimmers going for scholarships overseas, and that has been funded through the Commission. And these are to the Australian Institute of Sports, where they have an amazing swimming complex for training young swimmers. And so if we can start now, 4 years down the track, who knows?
In tackling the issue, the Sports Commission is going to host a conference for all our local sporting bodies in a couple of months to try and lift standards.
As the chairman said, better training could make all the difference in our future and perhaps win more medals for Fiji. Meli Tawanga, FBC Sports.
Final preparations are underway at Nausori's Ratu Thakambau Park for the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants football tournament. With less than 3 days remaining for its second major competition of the year, the Fiji Football Association is looking forward to another successful tournament. Rohit Deo with the story.
Ratu Anare flicks it through, finding Ramanush Karan. Ramanush and that curling through an own goal.
After a successful Fiji Fed tournament, FBCtv is doing the hard yards to make sure they have the same outcome in the Battle of the Giants. Chief Executive Bob Kumar says preparations has been good so far.
Edwin Shyman, a foul by Ilimotama Chese, and the shot coming through, the goal allowed. The shot coming through, the goal allowed.
So far, from our side, the preparations are well under control. The ticket sales, although we started on Saturday, but it was slow going, and it is catching on this morning. From the tickets are being sold from our office here in Suva, and also from the Sori Town Council.
The rainy weather in the Southern Division has been a concern, but Kumar is hopeful it will clear away in the next 2 days.
Well, hopefully we are all keeping our fingers crossed, and seeing the weather on Sunday, we were quite happy that the rain had gone away, but then it started again. So it's a nature, we don't have much control on it, but hopefully things will improve.
All teams have had a good break and are expected to come out firing from this Friday.
I know, although there has not been any league match or thing, but the teams have been in preparation and they have been looking for grounds here and there. So definitely we are looking at a strong competition at the forthcoming Inkmobile Battle of Giants.
Suva takes on Rekit in the opening match at 1 p.m. at Nosori's Ratu Zakambau Park on Friday. Host Rewa is the defending champions who defeated Ba 2-0 in last year's final. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
All Blacks injury replacements were thrown straight into action this morning in Wellington, New Zealand. 19-year-old sensation Reiko. Fijian All Blacks centre Seta Tamanivalu has also been called to join the All Blacks training camp. That is your sports for this evening. Business is up next with Jackie.
A portion of the brand new departures check-in terminal at Nandi International Airport opened today for live testing. Airport's Fiji Limited Executive Chair Faiz Khan says passengers travelling to Auckland and Christchurch this morning were processed in the new terminal. He says this is a huge stride in the progress of the Nandi Airport Terminal Modernisation Project. Khan says more tests are planned over the next few days before AFL completely transitions from the old to the new check-in terminal. The release of part of the new check-in terminal is a staged approach to the NATMP construction works in other areas are ongoing. Lingering showers with a bit of sunshine was the order of the day about the southern and eastern parts of the country. Suva was the coolest at 24 degrees, while Sabu trailed at 25. The rest of the centres were mild in the mid-20s, leaving Nandi, Lautoka and Lambasa the warmest at 30 degrees. Conditions for tomorrow expected to be sunny in the east, while the north can expect a few showers. Looking on to Thursday, clear sunny skies with cool winds is predicted to be the weather pattern throughout Fiji. At sea, easterly winds gusting up to 20 knots, moderate conditions. Recapping the main stories for tonight, beware of bogus travel agencies, warns Consumer Council. Government steps up to safeguard seasonal employment in New Zealand, and FRU is in talks with the government to have another Rio Gold celebrations in the Northern Division. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Results from last week's poll question we had asked, should Ben Ryan remain the head coach of Fiji Sevens? A massive 90% answered in the affirmative. This week's question, and we are asking, should Osea Kolini-Sao be the future Sevens coach? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.
Mrs. Manirabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pro Resort and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Lotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.